Tonight, the leader of Justice for Torquay, and Queen of Town Centre Hearts, Miss Tracey Ireland is going to give us the latest news about her campaign, to level up one of the poorest places in Great Britain today. Tracey is putting her life on the line, to bring hope and change to a community around Torquay Town Centre, that has been marginalised and neglected for a whole generation to support the interests of absent private landlords.
Tracey won't ever give up on us, Terri. She has been relentless in exposing how private landlords in Torquay are claiming housing benefit entitlements of the most disadvantaged and challenging people, by dumping them in their squalid, run-down housing, without proper regulation by Torquay Council. For years, the council has turned a blind eye to the injustices and harm done to the centre of Torquay.
We've all got a grip on what Tracey's campaign is about, Joan. She's been riding on the airwaves every week for ages now. She was even banging on right through lockdown.
And she will be blessed for it. Downtown Torquay might be seen by some as Torquay's very own version of spitting image. Community pages who share the video, because they believe in democracy like us, are being accused of political bias by the Liberal Democrat supporters, and some people won't even have downtown Torquay posted on their social media web pages, afraid that showing the truth about Torquay Town Centre might be bad for their profits.
Are you saying, Joan, that we should boycott local newspapers that only sing from the council's hymn sheet, and refuse to provide a totally balanced view of Torquay? As you say, there are social media sites who want to censor information, putting a spotlight on Torquay's humanitarian crisis.
No one can argue that downtown Torquay doesn't reveal the huge disconnect between the town hall and local people. At last, it has given those of us who feel Torquay Council was insensitive not to demolish Roebuck House, as a mark of respect to the people murdered there, never created a permanent memorial, or thought about the bereft families. As someone with gypsy blood, I know Roebuck House is a cursed building, and no good will ever come to those who try to make money from it.
Hello me lovelies, welcome to my secret bunker. It is here, where I organize my campaign to bring justice to the forgotten people of Torquay Town Centre. As I speak, people shiver in damp rooms, with broken windows, surrounded by volatile people shooting up drugs, arguing and fighting. Torquay Council is talking the talk, but not walking the walk. I want actions, friends, not mere words. Excuse me, but I can feel Professor Daine is heavily vibrating in my pocket.
Hello Tracey, I hope this is a good time to call, but I would like to share with you my analysis of the efficacy of your campaign at this time.
Oh darling, it's so big and very broad, your vocabulary I mean. Remember this, I'm but a simple, naive girl, from Torquay's infamous Warren Road.
Tracey could never call herself a lady. I mean, she can't contain herself for 1 minute when there's a man about.
Do you know, Terri, the worst thing for any fragile community is when people turn on each other, hang their dirty washing on the clothesline for everyone else to see. Haven't we got enough problems? We don't need childish behavior in the mix. Behave, and please listen to the professor from Abbey Road. He's a very clever man indeed.
Torquay Town Centre is at a major crossroads, as 2021 draws to a close. On one hand, we can argue, with tangible evidence, that the social deprivation and poverty has continued to get worse in the last 2 years, despite a key manifesto pledged by the Liberal Democrats to fight it. This week, I saw a Warren Hill resident stuff black bin liners into a gaping hole in their window frame. I spotted blatant drug dealing, and people staggering about, under the influence.
He is going on about behavior that hasn't changed on these streets for the past 30 years, so Joan, why are we still having to talk about it? It's utterly disgraceful.
The message from Torquay Town Hall has definitely changed under the Liberal Democratic coalition. The Conservatives, when in power, paid lip service to the old community activists, preferring to kick social problems into the long grass. The Liberal Democrats ditched their promise to adopt landlord licensing under the Housing Act. In coalition with independents, They now advocate for a softer approach to tackle inadequate housing, in the form of management orders.
Will these management orders be enough, Joan? When you consider the merciless way some landlords around here operate, they need sending to jail, not a ruddy management order. In any case, every promise made by Torquay Council gets broken, and we always get taken for fools. Unless I see the slum housing around here being cleaned up properly, drug dens closed for good, and people of the ghetto given justice, I will continue to take all this with a pinch of salt.
Listen to the Professor Terri. I don't think he will ever get taken for a fool. He has a university degree. If he didn't suffer from poor mental health, he would be a proper high flyer, and most certainly not having to live in a bedsit along Abbey Road in Torquay.
To conclude my analysis of the current situation in Torquay Town Centre, the Liberal Democrat coalition must, in the next 12 months, evidence their fight against poverty and show how Melville really could be marvellous, otherwise they will be on very thin political ice. The next April they will face the voters, and the Conservatives certainly won't let them off the hook for breaking a hustings promise and an election pledge.
Wasn't that a wonderful and inspiring message, friends? I must ask the professor to pop down to my secret bunker and give it to me in simple language. Well, friends, I wasn't very good at school. I can't get my head around big words. Until next time, moi me lullies.
I need some cakes and washing up liquid from Carter's Joan. Now, if it gets dark before I'm back, please draw those curtains across, otherwise you will be having more hallucinations. I don't want you telling me that Muriel was floating outside the window and tapping on the glass, wearing new false teeth. I wish you would talk to a psychiatrist. I'm not convinced that you are not suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. It's what living in Torquay Town Centre does to people.